Hello and welcome again to DME Podcast, brought to you by About the Voice. My name is Omawumi and I am excited to be here again today, and I believe that you are also happy to be here. Today I would like to do a quick checkup on us before I get into the subject or topic of discussion. How have you been? How has your journey been? If you have been following what we have been talking about here, I believe that you would have been making one or two changes. You would have improved when it comes to intentionality about your goals, your plans, and all of that stuff. And so, how have you been? Do not forget to drop your comments in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And if you have questions, be sure to drop them in the comments or send me a message on WhatsApp. So the topic of discussion today is, if I was a teenager again that is seeking to be relevant in quote, or trying to prepare myself for my career, or trying to set myself up for opportunities, what would I be doing? And so I'm going to be breaking this particular podcast in parts. I'll be touching one part, and then in the next episode I will touch the other parts. And so the first part that I'll be touching today is the aspect of volunteering. A lot of times, a lot of young people, or you as a person, might want to learn how to become relevant when it comes to the world of work. Okay, a lot of times you hear things like soft skills, you hear things like hard skills, and you are wondering, how do I learn this? A lot of times you hear things like communication skills, you hear things like critical thinking skills, problem solving skills. If you have been curious enough to look up job titles, or you've tried to look up job descriptions, a lot of times these employers write what they seek in people who they would like to work with them, or people who they would like to take in as their new employees and all of that. And so if you're someone that is looking to occupy workspace or the world of work in future, maybe you want to be an economist, you want to work in the office setting and all of that, and even generally, even if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's important that you learn these soft skills and of course relevant hard skills and all of that. And so if you want to learn communication skills, marketing skills and all of that, how do you get to learn that? Sometimes you might not be taught in class, in the school, maybe in the university and all of that. One of the ways to get that is through volunteering. And then a lot of times when people find it difficult to find their purpose, a lot of times they say, what is my purpose? You need to find your purpose. You have to focus on purpose. You have to find purpose. And it's like, it's a whole lot. And it's a big topic in the minds of so many persons, which might be a topic in your own mind. Sometimes the answer that you seek, you could find those answers through volunteering. And now, what is volunteering? Volunteering simply means giving back, being helpful to humanity. What you do without getting paid for whatever work it might be, whatever thing it might be. And so for me, I have volunteered in a whole lot of places. I have volunteered with international organizations, national organizations, as far back as 10 years ago, even more than 10 years. And so I have learned that along the line that there are a lot of things that you get to learn that really does help set you apart from others. The way you talk, the way you behave, the way you are able to handle tasks when the opportunities come to you. And so if you're a young person out there that is seeking to build, if you're out there, you're seeking to build your soft skills as a person, you want to learn all the critical thinking, problem solving and all of that, you want to get prepared, a good thing to do is to find an organization or a place where you can volunteer. Many times this could be a struggle because people would be like, I cannot work where they would not give me money. Sorry if you're not Yoruba. And people will be like, I cannot work without pay. But a lot of times where you get built, the places where you get built are those places where you really do offer yourself and you don't get paid. But in the right sense, like if from the place of wisdom, you actually do get paid. Payment might not always be in form of cash or money. There is so much more. Let's say you are volunteering at a place, you are learning how to communicate, you're learning how to sell, you're learning how to market, you're learning the marketing skills and all of that. You might not be paid cash at the end of the day, but then you are being built, which is also a form of payment. But then beyond what you want to get when you're going in to volunteer at a place, you should be thinking of the impact that you can also make. For instance, if you want to volunteer for a humanitarian organization, for instance, something like Red Cross, which I am a member of and I have volunteered for for or with for more than 6 years, one of the things that should be your top priority is impact. How can I be useful to humanity? How can I be of help to lives? When it comes to Red Cross, for instance, we're talking about rendering paramedical services to people. We're talking about learning first aid to help people to save lives. We're talking about how to help to handle emergencies. We're talking about a lot of stuff, how to help the community when it comes to their health, cleanliness, awareness, public health, and so many of those stuff. And so if you're someone that you like to help people, you like to be of help to people, maybe in the aspects of their health, or you're just passionate about helping people generally, a very good organization you would like to explore is Red Cross, the Red Cross, Nigerian Red Cross. And then it even gives you opportunity to learn a whole lot of stuff. And then it's not necessary, you don't have to be someone who works in the health sector to work with the Red Cross. Anyone can volunteer as long as you have a heart for humanity. Being in the Red Cross is something that really does build you, and you even learn a lot of grit, which is something that you need to thrive in life as a young person. You might be someone who is passionate about accounting, you're passionate about the financial sector, you're passionate about the educational sector, you're passionate about entrepreneurship. There are organizations out there, NGOs, and even organizations generally that allow you to volunteer, and then you can just reach out, or you can just find out, okay, what organization falls in line with my interest? What are the things that I can do? What are the things that I can offer? And even if you do have something to offer, because sometimes you might be like, okay, if I'm thinking about impact, what can I give? I am just a young person who has no experience, who has not seen life and all of that. There is something that you can offer. You presenting yourself alone is an offering. And so you can just think and then walk up to the organization, or reach out to someone or get a contact of someone who is there, and then you ask, make inquiries. Okay, I am someone who is passionate about the financial sector. I am passionate about education. A lot of times you hear things like the SDGs, a whole lot of them, and then you reach out and you say, okay, this is what I'm passionate about. I would like to contribute to your organization. I would like to learn. I would like to, whatever it is, just write out those things that you would like to get. And then one way or the other, besides, who would even reject free work? You want to work for an organization for free. Of course, they would welcome you. They would accept you with open arms, as long as they know that, okay, this is someone who is serious, who really wants to give back, of course, to also learn in return. And so a lot of times, you might not even have to volunteer with an organization physically. You can volunteer with an organization online. A lot of the organizations that I have volunteered with were online. And then I also have volunteered with a lot of organizations physically, and I've been able to make impact in different levels, even to the point of being part of what helps to implement a particular policy when it comes to the sexual and reproductive health and rights of young persons in Osun State. And so there are actually a lot of ways that you can volunteer. So you might be like, okay, I don't know a physical organization where I can volunteer. There are a lot of opportunities out there. If you want to learn how you can get these online opportunities to organizations you would like to volunteer with, you can do well to reach out to me. And if you want to do the research by yourself, you can also go ahead to make those researches. But just know that nothing should stop you, whether there is a physical place where you can volunteer or if it is online. The impact is still the same. I hope you are understanding and you are following. So sit down and look inwards. What am I interested in? What do I care about? And begin to search for those opportunities, apply. And now when it comes to your applications, a lot of time, because at some point I was running a particular organization, but then I had to put it on hold for some reason. And so that kind of gave me an opportunity to see or learn how young people attend to these professional applications and all of that. And so when you are applying to volunteer online, a lot of times you might get rejected, which is one of the things that you should learn to, how do you say it? You should strong your mind. Yes, you have to strong your mind to accept rejection and all of that. But then yes, because everybody does or would get rejected at different points in time. But then when you begin to master how these questions are being answered, how these questions are being asked, and you work on your presentation, thank God we have AI these days, which can help you to fine-tune your language and your story and all of that. Do not lie in applications. Anyways, so what I was trying to say is, when you are approaching these application questions, when I opened an application form for people to apply to volunteer with the organization that I was running at the time, there are points where I asked questions, why do you want to volunteer? And then I saw a lot of responses from young people where they're saying, because I like it, I just want to walk. And you're seeing those one-line responses and you are so pissed. Me reading the application, like the answers, the responses, I was pissed at some point because I was like, how would you not put any effort into an application and you expect to be accepted? Especially a lot of times, these online opportunities, thousands of people are applying. So when you want to apply, you need to get your act together. You can reach out to people who you know might be of help to you. Okay, hi, Dorcas, I know that you volunteer with so and so organizations and you volunteer online. How were you able to get in? This is the application that I have written for this particular opportunity. Can you help me proofread? Can you tell me what I have to do? Can you tell me what I have to check out, what I have to cross out, what I need to add to make my application stand out? Because if you're applying to volunteer for an organization where 200,000 people are applying, you must have something really amazing for people for them to pick you. And this is not to discourage you, this is to let you know that for you to get good things, you also need to put in an effort. So when you are trying to apply for opportunities online, you have to make sure, like volunteering opportunities online, you have to make sure that you are putting an effort when they are asking you those questions. Why do you care about our organization? Why would you like to take up this role? Why do you think you're available? These are a lot of questions they would be asking. And so you want to ensure that you are putting an effort at every point in your application. This is how to be selected. It might be volunteering, but then there is so much that you can get from volunteering. This is how you get prepared for the future. This is how you get prepared to be a good employee if you want to be someone that wants to work in the employee-employer setting. And even if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you're volunteering, for instance, for an organization where a lot of sales, a lot of marketing, a lot of everything is going on, you get to learn that hands-on. And then you get to meet people. Networking is a skill. A lot of times when you volunteer with these organizations, especially organizations online, you get to interact with people from different parts of the world. You get to learn how people think. You get to learn how people talk. You get to learn how people approach matters. And this helps to build your people skills, your communication skills. It helps to build your networking skills and all of that stuff. And so these are things that you get online. I think I was watching a particular video at some point. These videos where video podcasts where they bring people up to speak, and then someone was saying that, okay, AI is taking over the world, but there are some things that AI cannot take over. These are your soft skills, communication skills, your ability to interact with people, to network with people. These are things that AI cannot take away from you. And so volunteering can help to build this in you. So do not be that young person that says, Tiobayo, I'm not doing. If they are not paying me, I am not doing. You are just going to remain very small. You are going to remain at your level. And that is when you begin to see people with a second class lower, third class lower, they are thriving, they are doing better than people with a second class upper, second class, and all of that, and the first class, because these other people have spent their time building themselves, paying, working without getting paid, doing a lot of things that has helped to build them and make them, to set them apart. And so as a young person, whether you're in the university, if you're in the university, start looking for organizations, NGOs, or places or points where you can volunteer to take up leadership positions. Do not be someone that runs away and all of that. If you are in the secondary school and you're listening to me, there you have clubs in your school. You have clubs in your secondary school. You hear things like Young Readers Club, even Red Crosses in secondary schools. You hear things like Debaters Club and all of that. These are places where you get to learn things that help to build, where you get those soft skills, those skills that are rare. And so make sure that you are not the type that absconds. You are not the type that is always just playing around and all of that. When there are clubs that matches your interest, make sure that you join and that you are an active member. A lot of times, these things that you learn, these things just kind of stick to you or stick with you, even a lot of times unknowingly. And when you are making conversations, when you are handling matters, people are like, I am shocked. how is she able to do that? How is he able to do that? And then you begin to remember that, okay, these are things that I was able to do when I was volunteering at this place, when I was handling this role in school and all of that. And then another thing that volunteering helps you to do is that it helps to build you, it gives you work experience, and then it helps to build your CV. So you might not even be in the university yet, and you already have a 3-page CV with so much experience because you've worked and volunteered at different organizations and occupied different positions, and you're already building your CV. Some of you are here, you don't even have CV, you don't even know what a CV is, you don't even have anything to put in it. Why? Because you've not been involved in anything, you've not been involved with anything. And so one of the ways to build your CV as a young person is to start by volunteering. Start by volunteering. Volunteer. Give back. Especially if you have your parents supporting you, and all you need to do is to use your time to be as productive as possible as a person. And so I want you to make up your mind today that you are going to start, in quotes, building your own CV. By doing what? By volunteering, by looking at organizations online and offline that match your interests. Organizations like JCI, for instance, Junior Achievers International or something, Junior Chambers International, JCI, they are a very wonderful organization. The Red Cross is very beautiful. Global Change Makers, very beautiful. There are so many of them that I could go on and on listing. If you need any help on how to go about these things, be sure to send me a message, or you can reach out to people who might know this, and then make sure that you are taking these steps. This is the part 1 of this particular topic, or should I say episode. In this episode, in the next episode, I will be talking about the other part of what you can do to really set yourself for opportunities and to build yourself as a young person. I believe that you've learned a whole lot. I would be looking forward to hearing from you, receiving your questions. Also, I would love to be hearing that you're already taking those steps, you're already making those changes. I want to start hearing that you are volunteering here. These are the skills you've honed. These are the people that you've met. In fact, that's your abroad friend. You might just meet her or meet him from volunteering and all of that. So this is just basically it. So this is the first part, just like I have said. Let's anticipate the next part of the podcast. Thank you for staying with me. Do not forget, my name is Omowumi. Do not forget also to follow this podcast, give this podcast a rating, share it with your friends that might find this relevant or useful. In the next episode, God willing, I would be doing a giveaway. I'll be doing a giveaway, and so I would think about what the giveaway would be. Let's see how it goes. This podcast is brought to you by About the Voice, and we say that you are number 1.